Caiden Norman is part of the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter. He joins us here on Pirate Radio Live. Hello, Caiden.
What's up, Clip?
Good to see you.
Wasn't Brooks on a call last Friday?
Last Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. Jeez.
Not this past show, but he's been on a couple times.
Yeah, I remember
Brooks
he was
in New York.
"We'll see you. We'll go play." Oh, wrong person then. Forget it.
Okay. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just
okay. Chandler, jump in. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, you're doing great.
I had a one-on-one interview with Caiden before we came on the show.
Yeah, you were peppering him with questions about his
personal details too.
Life. Yeah.
Well, it was about your work. I was just very interested in your work.
Yeah. You were asking a lot of questions. Caiden, what are you going to do this Saturday?
Watch a lot of football like I do every Saturday.
Yeah.
Not much different than being on with you guys, so it'll be a good time. I can watch other games outside the Pirates game, so it should be good.
Mike P said, "Nice shirt, Caiden. How's the job at the bank?"
I don't work at a bank, but some people got to go to work, Mike.
Some people got to work, Mike.
Mike.
Big Mike. Holton Ayler's show, new edition coming up at 6 o'clock. If you miss it there, we have a best of coming up Friday on Pirate Radio, where you will hear the roundtable that Caiden Holton did with Miles Berry, Noah Henderson, and Gerard Stringer. Also part of Caiden and Holton's breakdown of the first 6 games of the season and more. I enjoyed the breakdown. I really enjoyed the Q&A because y'all pretty much accept every Q, including kind of the troll questions about Mike Houston's barrel chest and everything in between.
I didn't know barrel chest was an insult these days.
I like your comment that you wish people would make fun of you for your physique, your strong,
for my barrel chest. Yeah. I did tell Holton that I was like, maybe we should cut down on the questions. We just did 25 questions, but
no. I mean, for y'all maybe, but as a listener, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, the best part about it is Holton can barely read them because they're so far away. I think he should get some glasses for that, but.
Yeah, but I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the roundtable as well. For folks that haven't heard it, and a lot of people have, it's doing good numbers on Pirate Radio TV. What did you come out of anything from that roundtable discussion with the players? What was the big takeaway from that?
I hope I wasn't the most critical one, but I think it should be critical. I was critical on the one with me and Holton as well. It was good to hear other people's personal stories in a little bit. I know we kind of get into detail, but there's Holton right there. But I think you get into detail kind of people forget what a coach does for a person. So it's hard for Holton. It's hard for like I said on the roundtable and on our own episode, Coach Houston, he's an awkward guy. I never had the great experience with him. I think he's a good coach. I have so much respect for him. But for even me and Holton, you have so much respect that you can't drill in totally and just totally insult a coach.
So have you seen the McMahon documentary on Netflix?
So good. I started it the other night.
You haven't finished it?
I'm on episode 2. No spoilers.
Who's the is it Bruce Pritchard? Is that the guy's name? Nobody in here knows. But he's featured on it. But anyway, I don't think this is a huge spoiler because Vince McMahon was in the news and everything and has reportedly done some awful things. But he provided money, the best treatment ever for that guy's wife, basically keeping her alive. She had a life expectancy of 2 years. That was 30 years ago because of all the great treatment she's had for her illness. So there's no way he can say anything negative about Vince McMahon. He's no, he's the greatest guy ever. He saved my wife. I'm just bringing that up to say everybody has different one-on-one experiences with people. And you had some players who did not fit in or weren't good enough, or I don't know, who have maybe some sour grapes or just have bad interactions with Mike Houston, who came out over the weekend. And I think that was part of the reason y'all did what you did, to kind of say, hey, here's our stories from when we played.
I always call out, the people that are the loudest usually are the loudest for a reason. When coach comes in, they're running the former staff players out, or people they don't think will fit the culture. And so, look at Dion and the Buffs. That's what happened for them. I know I'm a huge Dion fan, but any college coach you see out the country coming in from the prior staff, they're going to have some bad grapes and ruffle a few feathers because when they start in and come in and create their own culture, that's going to happen. The culture after Coach Houston, the next coach is going to ruffle some players probably that from that last staff whenever that happens.
Yeah.
If Houston stays longer or goes at the end of this year, the same thing's going to happen with the next staff as well.
Yeah, Miles Berry talked about the difference between Coach Mo and Coach Houston, and Miles said, yeah, he broke me down a few times.
Yeah.
And but said in the end it was what he needed. So interesting chat there. You can check that out. You can also check out Holt and Caiden's breakdown of ECU. So, Caiden, when we talk on Saturdays, it's all about ECU. Let me ask you about some other football going on.
Let's do it.
What's your favorite matchup this weekend? Is it Red River? Is it Oregon State, or Oregon Ohio State?
Wrong.
Is it
Wrong
other?
OSU.
Oregon versus Ohio State.
Yeah, you said Oregon State. I just said wrong OSU.
Yeah.
But
what is your favorite matchup?
marquee matchups. I mean, those are the two. I think the Oregon.
Well, you got LSU and Ole Miss. You got
Yeah.
USC, Penn State, if you want to count that. That's lost some luster.
No, that's definitely lost some luster. And Penn State's kind of. They're like
Eh.
they're number 4, but do they look like they should be a number 4? I don't know. I have my questions there. I think the Ohio State game, Ohio State and Oregon, should be good. Two really good quarterbacks going at each other. Ohio State has a two-headed spear run game. Like, I think Ohio State's going to win that game. I see the 3 points there. And I'm like, unless Ohio State, again, going on the road in college football is hard to win, but I just think Ohio State just has too much talent.
We were in League 2 of an online dynasty together. I had Utah, won the Big 12 championship, and did not get in the playoff. And I thought something was screwed up with the game. But could this scenario happen in real life where the Big 12 champion is ranked below the Mountain West champion, which would be Boise State? So they get like the 4 seed. And then you get like I don't know, let's say Tulane or whatever could get in as the group of 5 team. Like there's a scenario that could happen like that in real life that I really, really want to happen. But as far as like the we call them the outsiders, the group of 5 team to make it right now, Boise looks like the front runner. But how about these military schools? They're undefeated right now.
I know. They're exciting. They're fun to watch. And I feel safer as an American when our academies are winning and undefeated. Let's just put that out there.
No doubt.
It's good.
We've never been stronger.
No, actually 1945 or 43, whatever year it was when they were last undefeated at this point in the season. So that's fun to see. I'm excited to see. I think the Wild situation, if they both go undefeated and they both beat Notre Dame, that the American championship game could like decide the playoffs, but then they play the week after, like their exhibition game. I saw that theory and I was like, that was so exciting. But I would hope the Pirates at least knock one of them off, if not both.
Yeah. What do you? Well, here's the question that we were asked earlier in the week: who starts at quarterback for ECU next Saturday?
Well, I mean, Hauser did the interview after the game, so I think he's going to get his shot. I don't know. I don't think Coach Houston sends out a quarterback if at the end of the game, if he doesn't give him a shot afterwards. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see. But Hauser finished the game. I think Hauser at least gets another shot now. Chandler,
you had a lot of questions during the break. Do you have one now?
No. I mean,
okay.
I guess. Well, I will say, like, when it comes to sending Hauser out there after the game and that kind of determining him being the guy going forward, or at least getting a shot, or could it be just because he was the quarterback that finished out the game?
I think because he finished out the game, and also like he was thrown in like the worst time possible. I think people probably want to see him start a game and see how that starts. I don't think he played that well. Obviously, he wasn't thrown in the best situation.
I guess, yeah, and I think Holton said on the 5th quarter, why not wait till halftime? And
Yeah.
I even said, don't even tell him in the locker room. Tell him on the way to the locker room, like before you even get in the locker room, say, hey, you're going to be the guy going into the second half. So you're going to be our starting quarterback to start the second half just to get his mind right,
Yeah.
I guess mentally prepare. So maybe he does that at Army. Maybe he gives them that whole week to prepare as the starting quarterback.
Well, 2 weeks to prepare. So
Yeah,
that's
2
even
weeks,
better.
yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I do think getting thrown into that situation, like you're the one drive you're not playing, the next drive, hey, get ready. It's like you got to really get your mind right. I've been in that situation before, so it messes you up a little bit.
Well, Chon, you've got sources. You might have better sources than Holton Ahlers.
Yeah, I was about to say, you might have practice, right?
Your sources, I mean, John David Baker was not pleased with some of the decisions that Jake Garcia was
That
making?
Garcia was maybe the reads that he wasn't making.
Yeah.
Maybe that he was frustrated with that, and maybe that was the discussion at halftime, and maybe that played a part in throwing Hauser in there. So, I mean, there's different speculations, and we don't know exactly what goes on behind the closed doors. But there is word that there was some frustrating mistakes made by Jake Garcia on Saturday.
Yeah.
And that he's made mistakes all year long.
Well, we
I
were
guess.
wondering what the breaking point would
Yeah,
be.
I mean, he's made mistakes. I mean, it leads the country in interceptions, but maybe the breaking point was at the tail end of the first half.
It was a weird time to pull him now, but I think we can all agree on that.
For sure.
I got a question for you guys, though. Is that fine, Clip?
Absolutely.
Ask away.
Have you guys been following this Project Rudy in college football?
Coach Mack brought that up the other day.
Oh, you guys already talked about it?
No, we
didn't
have
talk
not.
about it on the air.
And I was just about to bring up a Heather Dinich tweet from 40 minutes ago that said Big Ten commish Tony Petitti. Is that right?
I think it's Patelli.
There's no L in there.
There's two T's.
Oh, wow. Petitti.
Petitti. We're calling him Petitti. Petitti and Sankey, Greg Sankey, SEC, met and talked to reporters and said this meeting between the two leagues is unprecedented. So I don't know if that has to do with Project Rudy, but it's these big boys are all coming together.
Yeah, the top 7. So do you guys know high-level Project Rudy?
I don't, personally.
Do you know?
Break it down.
Well, I only know high level. I've only read a little bit about it. So it's private equity, guys from Disney trying to come together and infuse $9 billion into college football. And their whole thing is to create a super league of the top 70 teams, pretty much your whole Power 4. And pretty much everyone outside this top 70, you're
Left in the
SOL.
dust.
SOL, yeah.
Zach, when I hear the word Super League, I think of something that soccer tried to do, right? It never went through?
Never happened. They had
Because the fans rioted and revolted, right?
Yeah, there was some supporter groups that some big teams that just completely didn't show up for games.
Oh, okay.
Like they had
we
a
would
section
need
of 15,000 people
and-
not show up.
we would need the big boys to not show up to
Yeah, there was a team in
to
Germany.
Rudy games.
Well, the whole
Yeah.
thing is for the big boys to play the big boys,
Yeah.
the more marquee matchups. So forget about your ECUs playing NC State, for example, UNC's. We want to see Ohio State and an SEC school play in a non-conference game. We want to see Ohio State and an ACC school play in a non-conference game. And then out of the 70, everyone gets revenue based on tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and where you're at. So everyone gets paid. Because the biggest issue with college football today is revenue. It sounds wild. Money's more and more prevalent, but money's becoming scarcer and scarcer.
I hate it, but if there is some relegation involved, I could be swayed.
Well, our Pirates, not yours, our Pirates are.
You getting rid of the Pirates?
They're going to be left out. What's going to happen to the teams outside the top?
That's what I'm
70?
saying. We need relegation.
How are
somehow.
they going to afford to play college football when the rest is getting infused by, private equity?
Great questions, Caden, that I don't have the answers to.
It's if you look into it, it's scary and scary for the sport and scary for the people outside the top 70 teams right now.
Yeah, I mean, I hate this. Are people still going to show up? I mean, will people tune into a pregame and postgame show? Honestly,
But-
our schedule will not look any different than it does this year.
True,
That
is
is
true.
a fact.
Fun fact for you, though, about the SEC Big Ten. Sankey and Petitti, if we're going to call him Petitti,
Yeah.
are the two holdouts. Project Rudy has, basically gave the presentation to 30 Power 4 ADs. A lot of people are starting to get behind it. But
ACC and Big 12 are like, we're in. Because
But-
we're getting left behind. Please.
Petitti, and we'll call him that, and
He is Petitti.
Sankey,
Maybe Patati.
they're basically holding out, saying we don't need your money right now. Yeah, we think we can do it ourselves.
We print our own money. You say Petitti, I say Patati.
I say Patati just for SEC purposes.
Oh, I got you.
But really scary stuff, I think.
Okay, man, stop scaring us.
Hey, you're scaring us, Caden.
You're like a news person.
But we've talked about things on this show that scare us before. Or
Spiders,
yeah, snakes.
ghosts,
But just the realignment,
Rudy.
the Project Rudy.
Yeah.
So
How ironic is it? Is Project Rudy, who was
I
like
know.
this underdog story, and it's about all
Get
the
rid
big
of the
boys.
underdogs.
Yeah. All right, Caden. Thank you for joining us. Have a good Saturday off.
Yeah. Do you guys just want to come in and do it for fun on Saturday?
I was just thinking, like, should we do an Ohio State Oregon wrap up or
That'd be
something?
fun.
Take
I'd
some
be down.
calls. I don't know. I mean, if y'all are around, let me know. Hey, if we can get some dank burrito, I might be down to do that actually.
I know.
Yeah. All right, appreciate it, Caiden.